fucking loser.
You live in your mom's basement.
You probably have a 2-inch cock.
You sound like a white guy.
Congratulations.
For what?
You said you got a girlfriend.
You're probably a virgin.
So that's a no for Netflix and chill?
Fuck you!
So I'm curious. Tell me about your show. What do you talk about?
I talk about how women ain't shit.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 287th edition of TSR Primetime, your nightly dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. Happy Monday, everybody. It's July 2nd, 2018. Don't you hate it when people say, Happy Monday? Like, no, it's not a happy Monday. Now, listen, I'm fortunate enough to do what I do for a living. I don't have to punch a clock from 9 to 5. I'm one of the very few people who gets paid to do exactly what it is he loves to do. But for guys who, you know, work a 9 to 5, work a desk job, whatever the case may be, you know, the fucking bitch that's always like, Happy Monday, everybody, makes you want to slap a bitch. Like, no, it's not a happy fucking Monday. I got to spend another week in this motherfucker. So I'll say it again. Happy Monday, everybody. It's good to have you in here. We are streaming live simultaneously on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and of course, DonovanSharpe.com. That is 8 different channels across 5 different platforms. So welcome in, everybody. It's good to have you in here, however you guys may be watching. Had a great show last night with Rollo Tomasi. You know, obviously things got heated, as they should have. We talked about an attention whore who happened to be a red pill groupie. And we finally put that to rest. I'm not going to mention her name anymore. You know, I'm not going to have her name in my mouth anymore. I'm tired of it. But listen, great show. You guys should definitely go check it out on DonovanSharpe.com. Took a lot of phone calls, and had Rollo come on and set the record straight. So and again, thank you to Rollo Tomasi for coming on. And listen, man. Not only did we take phone calls, he was dropping knowledge. You know, people called in and asked questions. And of course, he does what Rollo Tomasi does, and he drops red pill knowledge. Listen, the guy is one of the godfathers of the red pill. And when you are one of the godfathers of the red pill, people like to come after you for no other reason but to make a name for themselves. This is what happens to Rollo a lot. Some people do it more than most. So I was happy to have him on. Last night to come in and sort of clear the air. Rachel Lindsay is in the news as usual. She is hosting First Take this week at ESPN. And for those of you who aren't familiar with First Take, I think it's probably the highest rated program at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Molly Qerim, who is absolutely useless. I mean, Molly Qerim is a good looking woman with big tits, but other than that, she is useless on the show. She runs her mouth. But the star of the show is Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, boxing historian extraordinaire, very, very good debating skills. But this week, it appears that Molly Qerim is on vacation. So, of course, they decide to let Rachel Lindsay, the former bachelorette, come onto the show and host the show. Guys, listen, man. I said this once, and I'll say it again. She's not marrying Brian. She's not marrying Brian Abasolo, or whatever the fuck his name is, right? Nobody knows who this guy is. Guys, listen, man. Women don't fuck. I'll put it to you this way. Women don't marry down. They don't date down. They marry up. They date up. They may fuck down, but if they fuck down, they're not going to let anyone know. If a junior partner at a law firm is fucking the janitor, she's not making that relationship public. But if she's fucking one of the senior partners, oh yeah, she's absolutely making that relationship public. You take Danica Patrick, for example. We all knew who Danica Patrick was. She burst onto the scene when she finished 4th in the Indianapolis 500 back in 2005. Unbelievable driver. I think she won a race at the Twin Rings of Japan. She was an instant star. Woman driver. She's a very good open wheel driver. Well, she was engaged to be married at that point. No surprise, as soon as she got her global stardom, she was no longer engaged. As soon as she jumped to NASCAR, she decided to start dating Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They dated for a couple of years. As soon as Danica jumped out of NASCAR, who is she dating now? Aaron Rodgers. This is what happens, guys. Rachel Lindsay is a celebrity now. She now has more notoriety than her fiance. Again, who in the hell is Brian Abasolo? Nobody knows who this guy is. I don't know what he does for a living. All I know is that he's the guy who won The Bachelorette. And to be honest with you, he's the guy who should have lost The Bachelorette because Rachel liked the guy who finished in second place. He wouldn't commit to her. He wouldn't say, listen, he told her, look, I like you. He says, I might even love you, but at the end of this thing, if you pick me, I can't guarantee you that I'm going to propose to you. So Brian, waiting in the wings, ends up being the winner, and he proposes to her. Okay? And now that her status has surpassed his, she is less attracted to him. And girls, and it's funny, like I know girls are watching this. Oh my God, Donovan, that's so not true. Sweetheart, you know it's true. You know it's true, man. Listen, not only that, Rachel Lindsay has dated guys like Kevin Durant. Now, she dated Kevin Durant when they were both in college at the University of Texas. But listen, it was clear, and listen, Kevin Durant was a one and done. It was very clear that he was going to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. I think it was the number 2 overall pick in the draft to the Seattle Supersonics. I forget exactly who went number 1. The point is when she was fucking Kevin Durant, dude, she knew Kevin Durant was on his way. That was just all there is to it. That was all there is. That was all there was to it. It's not like she was completely ignorant of who and what he was. She knew what the deal was. And now Kevin Durant is a global superstar. Greg Oden went number 1. Mike's Island on Instagram. Appreciate that. Yeah, how'd that work out for Greg Oden? Jesus Christ, the guy's made a fucking peanut brittle. Anyway, Rachel Lindsay has dated Kevin Durant, okay? And now she's at ESPN, where she's surrounded by these big personalities. She's surrounded constantly by higher value men on the regular. Professional athletes, former professional athletes, big ESPN personalities. I'm going to do a Sharpe short on why she's not going to marry him at some point. I'll probably do it within maybe the next week or so. But women like, here's something else that I pointed out. Women like being engaged more than they like being married. For women, being engaged is just a better life than being married, guys. When a woman is engaged, all the excitement is there. She gets all the questions. Like if a woman sees that another woman is wearing a wedding ring, there are no questions. She doesn't say, hey, so I see you're married. What's your husband? No. There's no questions. Oh, she's married. It's just an afterthought. But when she sees or flashes an engagement ring, now the excitement starts. When did you guys meet? How did he propose? When's the wedding? Where's the honeymoon? How many kids are you going to have? If you're married, it's just, okay, she's married, right? There's more attention to be had being engaged. It's more fun. It's a better life. But once you tie the knot, you're a nobody again. And think of it this way, guys. Being engaged is a standing offer of a lifetime of commitment. A man has gotten down on his knee and he has proposed marriage to a woman. So now of course she says yes, but she doesn't have to follow through with that. Shout out to Jeremy with the $10 donation via PayPal. She doesn't have to follow through with that. That's a standing offer. She can choose to accept or deny it at any time, and so can the guy. But listen, we all know that men aren't calling off engagements these days. Women call off the majority of engagements. Guys, listen, man. Rachel Lindsay at this point, she is high on attention, and once she gets married, once she walks down the aisle, most, if not all, of the attention that she is going to get is going to completely vanish. She's not going to marry him, guys. But Donovan, they're living together. That absolutely does not matter. Rachel Lindsay is not marrying Brian Abasolo. You heard it here first. All right, enough of the gossip. And again, you guys can listen to my Bachelorette breakdown. Me and my girlfriend like to watch it and break it down, and you guys are going to have that red pill style. 914-205-5356 is the number to call. If you want to tell me what's on your mind, you can hit me with questions, comments, show ideas, personal stories you'd like to share, or anything else you'd like to get off your chest. Trolls, white knights, feminists, you guys are welcome to call in too. If you don't want to call, you can always chat. The chat box is right next to the video player. If the video is running a little slow on your end, just click the video link just beneath the player, and that should do the trick. Like Jeremy L. did, if you want to support the show, go to streamlabs.com/Donovan's Den. That's streamlabs.com/Donovan's Den. You can contribute via PayPal, any credit or debit card, and you can also contribute with Bitcoin. Listen, guys, every little bit counts, guys. There is no amount that is too small. That is streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe. For all things Donovan Sharpe, head on over to donovansharpe.com. There you will find all of my content, which includes all episodes, all appearances in the archive of the over 200 articles I have written for Return of Kings and negromanosphere.com. Later on in the show, I'm going to put a bow tie on last night's broadcast. No, I'm not going to talk anymore about what happened on air. The original plan last night was to give my opening take on on the whole Twitter beef between the Red Man group and a Red Pill groupie. Then I was going to have Rolo come on. He was going to set the record straight, take a few phone calls, and then I was going to talk about why Red Pill women don't really exist. Well, steps 1 and 2 went according to plan, but we ended up taking calls for almost 2 hours. And most of that time was taken up by a blowhard, gaslighting white knight who is not nearly as smart and clever as he thinks he is. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the reasons there are no such things as red pill women a little bit later on. So you definitely want to stick around for that. Last season on the Brother Pill podcast, O'Shea Duke Jackson did a show with Steve the Dean entitled "Why Black Men Are Refusing to Get Married." Now, it was a typical episode, talking about black women, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, I mean, those shows have been done to death, but listen, they get ratings, and everybody knows why black men aren't trying to get married to black women. Well, during that interview, a white girl called into the show and offered up some advice for black women. And I looked at the counter, and the rating on that show went from 250 viewers, instantly went to 600. It was fucking epic. Now, the response after she got done, now during the interview, during her talking, the response from black men was typical. Basically, niggas were saying shit like, man, I need to get me a white girl. Does she have a sister? And so on and so forth. But more than a few of them said something to this effect. They said, well, black women need to listen and learn from this woman. And that's what shows me that a lot of brothers out there haven't given up on black women. And guys, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Listen, Minister Jap, I have him on the show all the time. He talks a lot of shit about black women, but he loves black women and he wants them to do better. He wants them to be better. That's why he's so hard on them. Black women have been asking things like, why are black men not marrying us? And why are black men no longer interested in us? But in the same breath, they ask, well, why are black men dating white women at an increasing rate? Then they say things like, well, fuck these niggas for fucking with white girls. Basically talking out of both sides of their mouths. What they failed to do, gentlemen, is to put 2 and 2 together. Now, what do I mean by that? Simple. They want to know why we're not checking for them anymore and why we're fucking with white girls more and more these days. But never once have they collectively said to themselves or each other, all right, y'all, niggas are leaving us for white girls and it ain't slowing down. What do white girls have that we don't, and how can we get it? In other words, what can we learn from white girls that can help us get our men back? What can we learn from white girls that can make black men attractive to us again? Well, the first thing you can do is you can go to donovansharpe.com and you can listen and watch the episode 12 things black women need to do to become attractive to black men again. Okay? Now, we know that, listen, here's the thing. We all know that that's never going to happen, right? Like, even if a black woman had these very thoughts, she would never admit them out loud. So I'm going to do them all a favor, and I'm going to talk about just 2 things, gentlemen and ladies, that black women can learn from white girls that would help them change the fucking game. 2 things that would put them miles ahead of any black woman out there. Let me give a shout out to my mod squad. Heathen Deluxe, good to see you in here. Sharpe Assist as well. Freelance Ronin, the TSR OG, NY Kia 31, good to see you in here. Sammy B says he's 20 years old from London. Thanks for everything, Donovan. Hey, man, I do this for y'all. And I'm being serious. Sammy B says the black girls out here are ridiculous too. Wow. Sammy, listen, man. Call into the show. I don't know. Oh, man, I don't know if we can take London phone calls. If you can find some way to get a hold of me, I would really like to know what British black girls are like, because I don't know. Listen, I've never interacted with black girls in Great Britain. I don't know. I mean, are they ghettofied? Like, yeah, Sammy B, man, you need to call in with that if you can, or at least give us a few comments in here. Shout out to my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter audiences. All right, here we go, gentlemen. Without further ado, here are two very important things that black women can learn from white girls when it comes to dating black men. Number one, this one is simple. Stop being fucking selfish. Black women think it is all about them. It's all about me. It's all about what I want. It's all about my needs. What can he do for me? How does this make me look? Etc., etc. Black women want a man to be an extension of them, which, if you have red pill awareness, you know that that is a projection play. And the reason I say that is because black women yearn to belong to a man. They want to be an extension of a man. They want to be able to represent a man. So that's that projection. They think that they want a man to be an extension of them, not knowing that if they really got that, they wouldn't be attracted to him. Well, goddamn, why am I fucking all these niggas even though I got a boyfriend? Well, because you want your man to be an extension of you. At least that's what the world tells you, and we'll get into that later. Men don't want to be extensions of women. They want a woman to be an extension of them. It is the natural state of both. Black women don't seem to understand that men want women who are unselfish. Men of all races. We want women who are kind. We want women who are giving. We want women who are generous. We want women who are feminist. Feminist, Jesus fucking Christ. No, feminine. I have to block that out. Black women are notoriously selfish in all aspects. Their mentality is it's all about what I want. He has to cater to me. He has to take care of my kids. What can he do for me? They don't understand that bringing ass and tits into a relationship isn't cutting it, even though they're getting fucked and chucked by niggas all the time. Then they wonder why niggas don't stick around after hitting it a few times, right? Like they don't really put two and two together. Well, the answer, sweetheart, is that you have to bring more to the table than sex. But when it comes to sex, they're even selfish in bed. These bitches are out here steady bitching about, well, that nigga better make me come, or I ain't sucking his dick unless he eats this ass. Fuck his orgasm. These niggas need to satisfy my needs. So then they think they can keep a man around. With that, they're still taking more than they give. The average white girl, gentlemen, and I think this is pretty obvious, is far less selfish in bed than the average black woman. Yes, there are some selfish ass white girls out there, but percentage wise, guys, it's not even close. It's not even close. Most white girls bend over backwards, literally and figuratively, to make sure their men are taken care of. I know my girlfriend does. Straight up, she does whatever the fuck I want. They put the needs of their men before their own needs. White girls never ask, or white girls rarely ask, what's in it for me? Okay, they ask, what can I do for him to show him I appreciate him? They're never looking for a man to build for them. They're looking for a man to build with. Black women say they want a man to build with, but then they get with one, and then they ask themselves, well, why isn't this nigga further along in life? If he can't do shit for me, I'm out. White girls don't have that bullshit mentality, man. White girls are extremely generous, extremely kind. Guys, listen, they will give you the shirt off their backs for the right man. You can't just be anybody. They'll give you the shirt off their backs for the right man. You can't be a bum ass nigga out here running the streets with no job and 8 kids and expect a white girl to treat you well. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Now, hold on. Now, she may use you for some dick, but that's about it. But if you're the right man, if you've got that game, and if you've got that game, if you can keep her in line, if she sees that you are going places, white girls will give you the world and not expect a goddamn thing in return but your time and attention, which is really what they want in the first place. Black women want everything you got and more. And even then, they still bitch and complain about what you ain't giving them. Being unselfish is one of the most attractive qualities a female can have. Black women would do well to emulate white girls in that regard. TSR Primetime is brought to you by Happy Hippo Herbals, home of the highest quality kratom on the planet. I've used Happy Hippo kratom since 2014, and I swear by this stuff. I actually discovered Happy Hippo kratom when I was trying to figure out how to reduce the cocaine come down. Anybody who's done cocaine knows that it feels great when you're high, but dude, that cocaine come down, that is the worst shit ever. You're depressed. Nothing matters anymore. It's fucking terrible. That's how I discovered kratom. So anyway, it elevates my mood. It makes me more productive and gives me laser focus, and it does it all without caffeine. Go to happyhippoherbals.com today and save an additional 25% when you pay with Bitcoin, and that includes your shipping. For your best beard ever, go to 1821manmade.com. The paste, the clay, and the pomade will have your beard looking, smelling, and feeling better than ever. I've used these products for almost a year, and as you guys can see, these products are definitely as advertised. To tighten up your beard game, look no further than 1821manmade.com. To get access to the TSR Primetime Archives, all you got to do is become a $5 patron on patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. For less than 17 cents a day, all video and audio versions of these live replays will be available to you. Now, you can watch live every night at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, but if you want to be able to rewatch or re-listen, $5 a month is all it takes. You're also going to get access to Sharpe Shorts. You'll get access to my interviews with Red Pill heavy hitters like Rollo Tomasi from yesterday, Alan Roger Curry, Alpha Male Strategies, Minister Jap, Illimitable Man, and many, many more. You'll also get access to my Ask Donovan series. I've said that twice now, so yes, Ask Donovan times 2. So head on over to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe to get your hands on the kind of content that will change your life for just pennies a day. If you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, come on over to donovansharpe.com to watch the remainder of the episode. Again, my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter audience, come on over to donovansharpe.com and watch the rest of TSR Primetime. Thank you guys for tuning in on those platforms, and I will see you guys in a minute as we say goodbye to the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube audiences here.